Hello everyone. Today I would like to show you two interesting astrological dates, 21st of January and the 23rd of January. These videos that I'm posting on YouTube are mostly for my English-speaking students who are studying transcendental karmic astrology. And as you probably know by now, we use a lot of transcendental objects, centaurs, fixed stars, and asteroids mainly, and other things that are showing the deeper transcendental layer, karmic layer of the chart. Today, these two dates provide me with the opportunity to show you some interesting features. So let's take a look at the sheet I prepared for you, a document. On the 21st of January, we are going to have a very tight Mercury-Astrea conjunction. Mercury is retrograde at the moment, and it is exactly conjunct Astrea, the karma breaker. And there are other interesting conjunctions on the 21st of January as well, which have been there already for some time and will be there. So let's just take a look around this chart. So the Mercury Astrea is about how to break old embedded karma regarding either your communication skills or the way you treat your children or the way you behave as a child. We all have mothers, fathers, and some of us have children. And of course, the generational dispute goes on from one generation to the other, but it's always worthwhile to try to reconcile them. And on the 21st of January, this is exactly what you will have the chance to do. The sun, of course, has just moved into Aquarius, and it is aligned with an important fixed star. I'm going to show that as well in a minute. But let's see the Neptune Pallas Athena conjunction. This was there in the full moon chart on the 17th, the 18th of January, depending where you live. It was on the 18th in the small hours for Budapest, 17 late hours right before midnight in London. And depending on where you are, these were the two dates for the full moon. And this conjunction is about wisdom-filled dreams, or understanding our dreams with the help of wisdom, or creating what is there for you as a hope or wish fulfillment through wisdom, or with the help of wisdom and knowledge. That's what the conjunction is about. And again, this was there in the full moon chart, the Astrea, Aries asteroid-related conjunction in Aries. It's an interesting conjunction because the asteroid-related is denotes the moment in the Lilith myths when Lilith revolts against injustice, and Aries is the outward karma breaker. So both karma breakers are important or relevant in these couple of days. Aries denotes drastically altered outward circumstances. So it's the outward karma breaker. Whenever you would probably not move or not change or not do anything, but outward circumstances trigger your action. And this is exactly now with the the circumstances are probably linked to some sort of injustice that you are going to revolt against, especially when you have placements around 22, 24 degrees Aries, then this conjunction will trigger something interesting. Just like I use the word interesting, like you have in the biggest Chinese curse, which says, may you live in interesting times. The triple conjunction involving the North Node, Sedna, and Ceres has also been there. Now that the nodes the nodal axis moved into Taurus, Scorpio, the conjunction became not just very tight, but also energetically clear. And this describes our destiny choices, which may be linked to family issues and nurturing that need to be redone, need to be reconsidered. All the non-working sections need to be reorganized. But as Sedna is also linked to abuse within the family, and Ceres is the nurturing principle, this might be the right time to do something about that if it occurred in your family. And Mars is quincunxing the triple conjunction, providing you with energy and the will and well, some sort of stamina to be able to do it. And then we have the Pluto-Juno conjunction in Capricorn, and it denotes a potential to transform Pluto, your partnerships. This could be any sort of partnership or any sort of contract, because Juno is also linked to signing contracts. This all is occurring on the 21st of January. There is a planetary picture here that is only interesting because sometime around midday in Budapest and or London, so in Europe, let's put it this way, you will have an Earth-ground trine involving retrograde Venus in a Capricorn, trine Uranus in Taurus, and the moon in Virgo is making an Earth-ground trine out of it. And a couple of other configurations can be seen, but they are not exactly clear or exact. There's a dissociate dissolved opposition because the nodal axis is already in Scorpio and Taurus, but the sun is already in Aquarius. So this is a dissolved opposition, but at the same time, the energy is not right, because this is actually a square energy between the sun in Aquarius and the North Node in Taurus, because Taurus and Aquarius are in a fixed square. So that's kind of interesting. And this seems like a yod with the moon, but it's not closing. So Saturn, Chiron are not forming a sextile that would dissolve the finger of fate. And there's also a bird cage. This is a tiny constellation, tiny planetary picture. This is the square between Saturn and Uranus is still quite tight. There's a semi-square from Mars, and there's a sesquiquadrate between Mars and Uranus. Mars-Uranus aspects are about free will, how you exercise your free will. Saturn-Mars is impotence, the inability to do anything, and Saturn-Uranus is the earthquake aspect. So that's kind of interesting. A bird cage is a configuration with all hard, heavy aspects, and it's like a little bird in a cage that you're trying to do something about it. The tension is there, but the solution is not really there. That's why it's called a bird cage. And let's move to, well, actually, yeah, we still have a couple of fixed stars just for these configuration points. On the North Node, is still the Pleiades, the home of the creator goddess. The South Node has Toliman, which is Alpha Centauri. I put here in brackets not just the constellation, but also the magnitudes. So you can see that at the moment, Toliman is the brightest. Unfortunately, you can't see this from the Northern Hemisphere. This is the Southern constellation. And the dimmest is Dorsum in Capricorn. It's 4.2. It's still visible by the naked eye, but it's not a bright star, but still important. So Toliman, as it is the alpha of the Centaur, the celestial, one of the celestial centaurs, because the other one is, of course, Sagittarius. It's our northern Centaur. Toliman is one of the healing places of karmic wounds. So the Chiron-induced wounds can be healed on Toliman. And then the sun is aligned with Altair, which is Alpha Aquila, the celestial eagle. And this is one of the shaman stars. It usually brings potentials for healing or insight or shamanic travels. It's important for you to understand that whenever a celestial object, especially one of the lights is aligned with any of the important bright fixed stars, then you can download the energy of that star through the planet. It's very simple. The planet is in the solar system. The solar system is our home, whereas these fixed stars are in the universe at large, everywhere, okay? And this is not really our home as such, not in a human form. In a human form, we belong to the solar system, but we are given the potential to download higher dimensional energies through the planets. So this is why it's important. As I said, Saturn is aligned with Dorsum. Actually, we could say conjunct Dorsum, because this is a zodiacal constellation. The whole constellation of Capricorn is about stamina and determination, and how to stay in a situation and be there no matter what. That's it. And Dorsum is Theta, which is, let me see, Theta is I think the 8th in the row. I somehow put down, hold on a second. Yes, Theta is the 8th brightest star. So I don't know the Greek alphabet. It's right here. Okay, then Venus is aligned with or conjunct with Nunki, Sigma Sagittarius, and it's quite a bright star. It's 2.1, so it's a very bright star. And Nunki is the belly button of the celestial. The northern celestial centaur, where the animal part and the guru part are joined. So it's the potential to join the animal instinct with the inside of the guru. Mars is on Etamin, Gamma Draco. Draco is the celestial dragon. The dragon is always keeping some sort of keeping or guarding a treasure. Jupiter is on Deneb Attica, which is Alpha Cygnus, the second celestial bird today. Again, linked to special abilities, shamanic abilities, shamanic journey. It's a very, very bright star, 1.3. And Saturn is on, I already said Saturn, sorry. Uranus is on Archid, which is Eta Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia is a northern star. It is a circumpolar star. You can always see the V, the W of Cassiopeia. And Archid is linked to the Cassiopeia story. As you know, Cassiopeia is the wife of Cepheus, the mother of Andromeda, a very beautiful woman who is not very bright and not very considerate to others. And then Chiron is linked to Alganib, Gamma Pegasus. This whole story, Cassiopeia, Andromeda, Cepheus, and Pegasus are in one portion of the sky. They occupy they just describe that story. And then, of course, I forgot Lilith, the Black Moon Lilith, which is on Bellatrix, which is the Gamma star of Orion. Okay, let's see the 23rd, where you will have a Kazimi, a Sun-Mercury Kazimi. What is a Kazimi? Kazimi is a placement. It can be translated, it's an Arabic term, it can be translated by saying that something, a celestial object, is in the heart of the sun, to be in the heart of the sun. The placement is occurring when anything is within 17 minutes of an arc of the sun's placement. So it's really in the sun, inside, right in the middle of the sun. You must remember that both the sun and the moon have a diametric size. It's approximately a little bit more than half a degree. So the 17 minutes of an arc is actually a quarter of a degree. So you can see it's right in the middle. Whereas all the other celestial objects are just points. So they don't really occupy any space there. So that is why you can be in the heart of the sun. That's what Kazimi means. And Mercury is quite often there. And it means that whenever there is a planet in the heart of the sun, the sun infuses it with energy, and it becomes greatly strengthened. And this is what's happening. You can see that the Juno-Pluto conjunction became much tighter, whereas the Mercury Sun is maybe interesting. I should show you that in 2 days earlier, they were 5 degrees apart, and as the sun goes forward and Mercury is retrograde, they just met 2.5 days later. That's exactly the Kazimi portion. And at the same time, the Neptune Pallas Athena is moving apart. They are moving apart from each other. The Aries Lilith is still very tight. So is the North Node Ceres Sedna. So it's practically everything is the same except the Sun Mercury Kazimi. It very, very often occurs during the retrograde period of Mercury. So actually 50% of the Kazimis are retrograde Mercury, which provides an interesting thought in karmic astrology, because in karmic astrology we say that all retrograde planets are wounded or are karmically difficult. So here you have a Mercury which is obviously wounded because it's retrograde, but at the same time very strong because it's in the heart of the sun. So that gives you some sort of pondering about the delineation. Here's the equatorial view if we look at the planetary placement. Of course, you can never see a Kazimi in the sky because the sun eclipses everything. The sun's brightness eclipses everything. So here's the Pluto-Juno conjunction with the midheaven and the part of fortune. Here's the Mercury-Sun conjunction. Here's the Neptune-Pallas Athena conjunction. And this is the equatorial view. So here's the celestial equator. But if we move and change the view to an ecliptical view, here's the ecliptic, then you will see how the conjunction occurs. Now, it's very important that the conjunction occurs on the zodiacal degree, but not on the declination. You can see that neither of these conjunctions are actually on the same declination. So, for instance, the Mercury-Sun Kazimi is, although it is in the heart of the sun, Mercury is actually above the sun, so to the celestial equator. And Pallas Athena and Neptune are quite far away, so are Juno and Pluto. Okay, so that's it. I hope it helped you understand conjunctions and also how we work with fixed stars. The idea is that these are higher dimensional worlds that have specialties, either healing properties or they provide special abilities and traits. And even if you don't have the placement in your own chart, you can download it on days when any of the celestial objects is conjunct or aligned with that particular star, especially when you have something else in your own chart at the same degree. Hopefully do. If you have something at the same degree, you have it natally also aligned with that particular fixed star. So that's what makes it difficult. Sometimes not. Sometimes if you're old enough, fixed stars move about 1 degree in every 72 years. And if there was a little bit over 1 degree conjunction that you did not take into consideration over the years, you might actually understand and download its meaning. I hope it helped. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.